Hello and welcome to After the Whistle. It's February 27th. I'm Arpin Lobo.
And I'm Mitch Perkins. In tonight's episode, we recap the action from Grand Valley Tennis and Dodgeball.
We also have the 2017 Grand Rapids Football Club uniform unveiling, NHL trade deadline speculation, and much more.
It was another busy weekend for the GVSU men's tennis team. The undefeated Lakers came into the weekend looking to defend their record, and they succeeded. GVSU won on Saturday against Hillsdale 9-0 and kept rolling with a win over Findlay on Sunday, this time 8-1.
Also happening over the weekend, the GVSU Dodgeball team hosted their Blast from the Past tournament in the GVSU Fieldhouse. In the first set of games, GV played Central Michigan University and won 3-1. Then they played Michigan State University in the next set and won 2-0. In the last set, GVSU played the GVSU alumni and lost 3-1. All right. Hi, we'd like to welcome to the show GVSU Dodgeball members Eric Cornega and Brandon Meisel. Thanks for joining us, guys. How are you doing today?
Good, yeah. Thanks for having us.
All right. So you guys are coming off your 4th straight national championship, is that right?
We are, yep.
How does that feel, like that run of dominance?
It feels great. Being able to say you're the best in the nation is awesome, and then be able to say that for the past 4 years is great.
So you guys have each been on the team for 2 years. What kind of work have you had to put in order to continue this dominant streak?
Personally, actually, so my first year, which was last year, I tore my ACL the first semester. Then I had surgery, came back, and I played pretty well, so they made me captain of the team. And then going into this year, I've had to prepare a lot, had to learn a lot because I only played one semester of dodgeball of the best team in the nation. So I learned a lot and talked to a lot of the other captains and put in a lot of work.
Yeah. For me, it's just from practicing a lot. His is like learning a lot. We just were practicing a lot, getting to know the guys, getting to know like how to play faster and stuff like that. Because that's like my game speed is fast.
Yeah, you talk about like learning and practicing. Can you explain for people who don't know how like different your guys' game is compared to just messing around in like your gym or something like that?
Right. So during gym, like during high school, you just kind of throw balls at each other and see if you hit your friends in the face or something. And we still do that. We still hit people in the face. But now it's with rubber balls, and we're throwing upwards of 75 miles an hour from 30 feet away, which is like you have less than a quarter second to react. There's a lot of different rules you wouldn't think there would be, but there's a throw line you have to go to. There's a neutral zone where both teams can enter, so you can have somebody behind you from the other team, somebody in front of you. It gets crazy and hectic.
What would be something that, to the layperson who doesn't really know a whole lot about playing basically a professional level of dodgeball, that they may not understand about the game that you guys have learned just from your time playing competitively?
I'd probably say there's a lot more strategy than you think there would be. So instead of just throwing balls randomly, it's, getting, because there's 10 balls on the court at one time, getting ball control, having more than 6 balls so then you can throw 2 balls at one person because they're a lot less likely to catch it. Also playing, so when their team is running at you, you wait till they throw, you block the ball, and you run up at them at the same time. There's a lot more strategy than what you think there would be.
I would say gripping the ball too.
Yes.
Most people don't know what a grip is. I can barely do it. I only grip halfway. So what you do is you grab it by the nipple of the ball, which is like where you put the needle in, and you grab that and you squeeze it up, and you tend to like grab like an actual baseball, like from that, and then you throw. Most people think you just grab the ball like full palm, but no, you have to actually like grab it like a baseball.
Wow. All right. Well, that's all the time we have. But thank you guys for joining us, and congratulations again. All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Staying local, Grand Rapids FC unveiled their 2017 jersey Saturday, February 25th at Speakeasy Lounge. Fans came in numbers to see what the 2017 season has in store. Many GRFC staff and players attended the event. Coach Moni and GRFC founder Matt Roberts thanked their fans for their dedication the past couple of years. A few players from the men's and women's team modeled the new uniforms.
This year are really nice, digging the all black, and then our away kits are yellow. It's a nice change. They're looking pretty sharp. Everyone looked really good tonight, but at the end of the day, it's not how you look, it's how you play. So just gonna getting ready to get back to work with the team.
GRFC's home opener at Houseman Field downtown will be on Friday, May 5th against Ole Soccer Club.
Earlier last week, the Los Angeles Lakers decided to fire longtime Vice President of Basketball Operations Jim Buss. Buss's replacement, none other than Laker legend Magic Johnson. Johnson previously held an advisory role with the team and will be looking to lead the Lakers back to contention soon.
Now for the first time, we'll be taking it to the racetrack where NASCAR's season opener took place on Sunday, February 26th. This year's Daytona 500 truly was another "it's not over until it's over" victory. With 10 laps to go in the 200-lap race, it looked like Chase Elliott in the 24 car had it in the bag. That is, until he ran out of fuel and had to pit on lap 199 of 200. The 42 car, Kyle Larson, made a pass on the inside to steal the lead, but lost it when he too found himself out of fuel. With Larson out, Kurt Busch was able to take the lead off turn 2 and took it all the way to the checkered flag, earning his first ever Daytona win. In a post-race interview, Busch shared how it was a hard-fought victory and what it was like navigating the crash-riddled track that stopped drivers like Dale Earnhardt Jr. from even having a chance at the finish line.
Daytona will challenge you mentally and emotionally. And for me, all the stuff that was getting thrown at us today, our car still had speed, and I just kept digging. It's a matter of having the right strategy, and you believe in your crew chief. It's a matter of having the right engine, and I believed in Ford. And then there's fate that helps you navigate through some of these wrecks. I mean, the circumstances that happen out on the track and avoiding wrecks, you just have to be lucky. And I was thankful that I was able to slide through a lot of these wrecks and be in position at the end.
Going back to basketball, the NBA trade deadline has now passed. The Sacramento Kings stole the spotlight, dealing All-Star center DeMarcus Cousins to the New Orleans Pelicans for draft picks and a group of players headlined by rookie Buddy Hield. The rest of the league stayed mostly quiet as the Boston Celtics elected to stay put despite speculation of the team adding an All-Star. Boston will instead hold on to their prized assets, which includes the potential #1 overall pick in the 2017 NBA draft.
And we learned yesterday that the Cleveland Cavaliers are hoping to sign veteran point guard Deron Williams, who could be the missing piece LeBron James has been wanting for a while. James has been asking Cavalier management to add a playmaker throughout the season. If Williams, who was waived by the Dallas Mavericks, clears waivers, he will be free to sign with any team.
Also, last night was an emotional night for Detroit Pistons legend Richard "Rip" Hamilton. The NBA franchise retired Hamilton's number 32 at the Palace of Auburn Hills. The 2004 NBA champion could not hold back tears while former teammates praised his talent and presence on the court. Hamilton is one of 6 Pistons to have scored 11,000 points and is also the franchise all-time playoff leading scorer. Hamilton's other career accomplishments include being a 3-time All-Star as well as winning a national championship in college with Connecticut. The Pistons, however, could not come up with a win on Hamilton's special night as they fell to Boston 104-98. Joining me now are After the Whistle reporters Maitland Mazzell, Natalie Longroy, and Paul McPherson to talk about the Detroit Red Wings trade prospects. So guys, yesterday, Thomas Jurko was dealt to the Chicago Blackhawks for a 3rd-round pick. Any other moves we can expect from this deadline?
I guess I'll start. I would expect at least 1 or 2. I know apparently Ken Hollis said the Red Wings will be sellers, and Jurko is probably just a start. Then we do have some some players that could definitely have some value. Vanek is on a 1-year deal, so you could definitely see him going just for a little, maybe just a pick or something like that, or maybe a low-level prospect since it is only a 1-year loan at that point. But
right, is this an admission almost by the Red Wings brass that it might be an end to the playoff streak, end to maybe a rebuild, reset, or are they going to try and work with what they get?
I think we're going to try to rebuild. Obviously, from last season, we just made it into the playoffs, and I think this
last
season,
couple of years, yeah.
Well, yeah. And then this year, I think this will be it. I mean, we just don't have the powerhouse we used to have, in the early 2000s, even in 2008 when we won, and then obviously the 90s. So I think our best bet is to trade Vanek. I hate to say it because he's been so good to us this year, but he is only on a 1-year contract.
You risk losing him for nothing, yes.
And so we could potentially trade him away and he could go to, like, I've heard maybe go back to the Canadians, and then we could re-sign him in July.
Potentially, yes.
Potentially, yes, we could. And I think that might be the best bet for the Red Wings at this point.
Kind of stemming off of her rebuilding thing, I think that is going to be the best option, just because right now we've got so many like veteran guys and then like really, really new guys, but we have no one really consistently in the middle that's still doing stuff.
There's a lack of prime
Right,
players.
and I do think we need to trade players like Erickson and like Smith who are there and like they do really good things every once in a while, but they're not like key players to the team.
It's a struggle because Ken Holland has handed out several large contracts to players like Justin Abdelkader, Jonathan Erickson, Jimmy Howard, to where if you think about it, if you're the Red Wings, maybe these guys aren't going to be the core of a Red Wings team. As Henrik Zetterberg gets older, he can't shoulder the load like he has been. His health might become an issue. And while there's talented young players, Dylan Larkin, Anthony Mantha, Andreas Anthony, there's still work to be done, obviously. So we'll just have to sit back and wait.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Like, I think like it's a shame to see players like Nyquist, Tatar fall off the way they have. You have to wonder if it's a coaching thing or just they had a really good season and then just weren't actually that good.
Right.
You have to wonder that because that was in Babcock's final season. Nyquist was a 30-goal scorer, was one of the top power play goal scorers in the entire NHL. Tatar was a 25-goal scorer, and then you look and go, okay, well those players should have kept improving. They should be our prime players right now, and they're not. And so, as you mentioned, there's no prime players. The best Red Wings we've had are older now. They're not that good. Abdelkader hasn't been as good as he was. Riley Shan's been a major disappointment last season, throwing like 15 goals last season. He still hasn't scored yet. I think he set the record now for most games played in a season without a goal, which is passing guys like Aaron Downey and Sean May, who were fighters.
Riley
and
Shan is
not
a goal
fighter.
scorer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Shan's a power forward goal scorer who hasn't scored goals, and it makes you wonder too why he's still playing on the team as well. But with the way he's playing, you're not going to get him in a trade or anything like that, so you're not going to trade him. And some of those players like Smith, Erickson, it might be hard to deal them because of the contracts they have, as well as then who wants a player that's struggled as much as they have. So unfortunately, you're going to have to look at players like Vanek, maybe Tatar or Nyquist to actually be able to get you something at the deadline that was actually worthwhile, which is a shame because those are some really solid players that we'd be losing. But at the same time, when you need to rebuild, you need to rebuild.
Right, and Ken Holland has built championship teams before, so we might have to give him the benefit of the doubt on this.
Oh, yeah.
Fortunately, it's all the time we have on this, so thank you guys for joining us again. All right.
That's all the time we have for this week. Thanks again for joining us. Remember, we won't be having an episode next week, but we'll be back after spring break.
For Mitch Perkins, I'm Arpon Lobo. All game, all season, always on After the Whistle.